Hello and welcome to Today in Film, episode 24. I'm your host, Ryan Parry, and with me today is...
Not Greg Toby, not Harry Gibbons.
Who are you?
I am James.
Right, the other two hosts are not here for university reasons. Uh, Today we're going to be discussing the film Colour Out of Space, which is painfully spelt without a U. Sadly,
Yeah, no, it's not spelt the correct way.
It's not spelled the correct way because it's an American thing.
Well,
And yeah,
just one of those other things that you get wrong.
directed and co-written by Richard Stanley, and starring Nick Cage, the legend, plus some alpacas.
Well,
Um,
formally.
Formerly. But anyway, James, what do you think of this film?
It's interesting. It is a very interesting film. But I will say, even though you said it, like it starts off very quiet or like minimalistic at the beginning, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But when it gets going, it goes from 0 to 100 very
No,
fast.
that's what I meant. Like it's, you know, something's coming,
Mm.
but it takes its time with it, and then when it wants to go into it, it like punches you in the balls with it, and it just goes straight in.
Mm. It's like it like really goes for it.
Yeah, because it's played. You know, I would say it really starts to ramp up, probably with the chopping board scene,
Yes,
which is
yeah.
horrible, horrible scene
Because you
because
know you know something bad's gonna happen. You think she's gonna like just the fingertip or just the top half of her finger, not like half
oh
of her hand. Uh,
this oh yeah, this is a thing, right? This film, I'm not a massive fan of. I'm not a massive fan of horror, but
this
this
one
was
isn't.
so like it was artistically done in a way that just unsettled me so much. But I was so intrigued to keep watching it.
I wasn't scared by this film. I don't think this film's
No,
scary.
no, I wasn't scared, but it was just like a
The,
ooh,
I think that was the only bit that got bad. I mean, they do some like trademarks of films to like get you going, like we'll kill the dog,
yeah.
like like like, oh, how can we easily get emotion out of the audience? We'll kill the bloody dog.
That didn't get any emotion out of me because
I mean, when
I
you
don't know, I
hear
was
it,
kept
when you hear it getting mangled, I mean,
yeah.
it's horrible.
I think this is a strange film,
It is and it
and
isn't.
yeah,
It's an artsy. It can look. This film could have been very. It presents itself, even like the cover art and everything, is very pretentious,
well, it is
but it
a
isn't.
H.P. Lovecraft story, so
Mm.
it can't really be anything but like artsy, I'd say,
It's
because
artsy, but I wouldn't call it pretentious because you get Nick Cage doing Nick Cage.
no, but the thing is, uh, it's a director who clearly knows how to use Nick Cage as Nick Cage,
Yes.
because it's Nick Cage as Nick Cage, but it's like,
Yeah.
yes,
Like he's
it's
not
Nick
doing
Cage as
anything
Nick Cage.
differently. That's what you like. Like for example, he's in the car and he freaks out. That is
Yeah,
textbook. And there's nothing changed. Only the difference is that he's in this film, not Face Off
basically.
or The Wicker Man.
It's Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage, the dad,
Hmm.
who he has played a few times now,
Yes.
but it's just one of those where it's like, um, he becomes more like his dad throughout the film,
Mm. They all
and
become people that they don't want to be.
they do, yeah, and it's weird, but it's also like really good. But I love right. I would actually. I said earlier that started to kick off at the uh, chopping board.
Mm.
I think really it when it goes to 0 to 100 is when uh, you have the cat, and then you also have the the big purple ray that just absorbs two characters.
That happens a lot sooner in the film. But no, like the cat, I knew that jump scare was going to happen. Like that, as soon as they
Oh yeah,
cut to like, there's a lot of fade-ins in this film. At the
there are,
beginning,
but it's well done.
yeah. But no, like as soon as you talked about your cat went missing, that you won't recognize it, and it goes straight to a car, and you see it, the car headlights from a distance coming toward.
Yeah,
You're like, I know what's going to happen.
I really liked the CG.
Oh, see, this is
The
CGI done well. How much was this film made for? I'm gonna look up now.
I need to check that. But
Okay.
basically, this so the alpaca's mass creature thing
Mm.
that it looks incredible. The budget was 6 to 12 million.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was looking on Wikipedia. Made a
Box
bill.
office was 1 million,
Oof.
supposedly, according to Thingy. But
So he's probably not making any more films for a bit.
no, he is. He's doing a trilogy.
Oh, was it?
So, um, I I think this one. I feel like this was sold off to another. I feel like this was sold to a streaming company or something. It wasn't one that got like a massive release.
No, I think this film's very particular.
It's an artsy film.
Mm.
This just distributed by RJE Entertainment.
So we don't even know nothing
So
we've ever heard of. Not like a Blumhouse.
They're not like. I'm trying to look for a list. No, they haven't really done anything like massive. So it is a wheel paid to do this film.
Mm.
But it's a good film, a really good film.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the budget, I mean, like it does. It's like only them are going mad in this sort of fantasy world. Because crap's happening, but they could easily leave, and that's like, but they can't, and nothing is keeping them there. Like they're not feel like they're forced there. Did you get that sense?
Yeah, it's a
They're not being tied down there by any means. Like they want
until the end.
Yeah.
Like when the car won't start and stuff like that.
And then when she runs back to Nick Cage while he's dying.
Oh.
But he didn't die there.
No, it's that. I love how that's done. Like
the setup.
Yeah, because you're not focusing on him, and then suddenly he's gone.
Mm.
But then, like, they go straight into the house, and it's just like, oh, this is creepy shit.
Yeah, no. Then when you see at the end of when it's all decimated, just see the ring, and you're like, how did that get there? And he's clearly because he dies on his back. So how can he reach out? So it all formed again. So they all reformed at the end.
Yeah, they all basically came back to life.
Mm.
So the whole thing with H.P. Lovecraft, if I'm correct, I'm not well versed in Lovecraftian stuff, but like they have, I think it's like the Dark Ones and stuff like Cthulhu, that kind of thing, the big bad monsters.
Yeah.
And this is essentially like a portal to, like, to that place. Basically.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like it. Obviously, you do the typical thing where you start off with like a witch sort of seance sort of thing, and he comes over and see the what's the water guy called? Well, him when he comes over and catches her doing it by the leg, and then they repeat that shot at the end of the film.
Yeah,
when she gets.
So she's failed She doesn't complete the spell.
Hmm.
So I think if I had to make a theory, I'd say that that's meant to be like she essentially cocked up.
Hmm.
But do you see though, when she does the whole like blood ritual,
Yeah, that's another
which
thing
is
if I
when
go mad.
yeah, but if you actually notice, she is the only character who's safe. She
Yeah,
doesn't get attacked by like anyone that's going to kill her. Really,
no,
I mean the mum does, but then
yeah,
the dad comes and saves her.
yeah, the yeah. See, that was a good fake out that moment.
And that
That was a good fake.
when she gets chucked in, and
Go.
it's like look after him, and you see if you I don't know if you noticed, but the mum's not on the like mattress.
No, no, you
The,
see her
the
head.
body's gone.
No, you see her head.
No, it's gone in the shot when she's chucked back in. She's gone. I'm pretty certain. Like
Oh, I saw her. Well, yeah. And then she
it's all
turns into.
shadowed, so she might it might be like a part of her that's like there, but
Yeah, well, you see her. Well, basically, she becomes the thing.
whereas I'm looking through the original story here because I did read some of it just to see if they'd use because the actual start of the film, you know, when he's talking about like where it is, the narration
Yeah.
is the start of the story. So you know, like you know, there's this place. It's like oh, but um, where is it? I hate reading on the laptop because it's so awful, isn't it?
It is.
Um, Bastard Heath. Yeah. So as I walked hurriedly by, I saw the tumbled bricks and stones of an old chimney and a cellar on my right. So the story, you know, it's him in this area. It's still the water dude for the reservoir, but he's in the area like you know at the end of the film where it's all like blown down and white.
Yeah, with all the ash.
Essentially, he's there
Yeah.
in the story, and he's like looking at it.
Mm.
Which, when I saw that like at the end, I was like, that's a really really well done thing
Yeah.
because instead of butchering a story and just making it your own, it crescendos into this like kind of tribute, I
Mm.
suppose. But so the reason I chose this film for this week is because at university, for the adaptations module, the film which I am analysing, comparing to the uh, original novel, isn't this film, but it is The Island of Dr. Moreau, which Richard Stanley actually tried to make into a film in 1996, and it didn't go very well for him.
What happened?
I was wondering if you disappeared because it kind of flashed on then. So basically, he kind of got a bit shafted. It was a passion project. No one else was passionate about it. They'd invested 20 million into the film, and they kind of just let it die. They hired expensive stars who didn't like to be like helpful, I guess is the
Yeah,
word.
basically, the typical acting actors who are difficult to work with, who will turn up coked out their brain to set.
They got Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando.
Yes, you probably
So
they probably did
literally,
arrive to set coked up in being difficult to work with.
Marlon Brando's daughter committed suicide
Oh,
just before they're about to start,
okay, can we cut that
so he buggered off. Then when he came, he didn't learn the lines.
Yeah.
He made there was the world's smallest man they had in the film. Uh, Marlon Brando liked him, and instead of the little minor role the guy had,
Oh,
he instead said he was going to be like a more major character, and it's just a sad look at like Hollywood going
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, because and here's the thing, that's probably making a film is hard. I don't do it. Like, do you know what I mean? But like, I can tell you that's not hard because of like all the moving parts just to get something right. And
Yeah,
that's
but
probably more of a case of more things than you realize because you only hear the success stories.
I think with films in development hell and stuff, they there are some films in development hell that probably have very good chances sometimes, and
Mm.
then someone says the wrong thing, and it all goes back into the box.
Well, look at the whole. Not to get like Marlon. Look at everything that happened with Johnny Depp just now.
Yeah, I mean,
Not to take a diversion, but like, funny how they managed to replace him instantly with Mads
I mean,
Mikkelsen.
it makes sense, but I feel like they've been working on this since this started.
What the whole stuff? They get Mads Mikkelsen. They've had Mads Mikkelsen on call for like a while. Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
because of
Like
how quick it
he was
turns
already
around.
in.
Yeah,
But so Color Out of Space. The reason that I picked it was because this is the first feature film Richard Stanley has done since attempting to do The Island of Dr. Moreau in 1996, which is a while, 24 years. Well, 23 years, sorry. I think it was. It was 2019, wasn't it? 2018. Yeah, 2019. Well, actually, kind of. Well, technically it's this year. Technically it's last year. It's a strange one.
yeah,
Um, but like it's a weird one because I watched a documentary about the Island of Dr. Moreau film, and he was a big part of the documentary saying like how he envisioned it. So when I saw this, I had high hopes for it because he seemed like someone who wants to adapt stuff faithfully, but also with his own take on it.
yeah.
You know,
Still having his touch on it.
yeah, but he wants it to be a respectful, um, you know, adaptation. Really, it's not a this is my story. It's
Yeah,
a this is your story, and I'm going to add some little bits to it.
yeah. He's not
But at
doing
the end of the
Kubrick.
day, yeah, like he wanted to put the Island of Dr. Moreau more in the modern day, which he did, because obviously 1800s isn't very interesting, like for a sci-fi film.
Not read the original story, obviously, but I
Yeah,
assume this story was in the past too.
this was set during, I assume, whenever it happened.
Yeah,
It's H.P. Lovecraft, so he kind of went off of
it was
just
contemporary.
it was contemporary, like a lot of authors, because obviously they don't really know what's going to happen in the future.
So they try and fill this static void.
Yeah. So this film is, I would say it's an incredible return to filmmaking.
Yeah,
Like, obviously, people who don't know about the Island of Dr. Moreau and that stuff, probably they could watch this film and think it's shit. But that's because I went into this. I really didn't have any expectations apart from like I think he's going to adapt it well or respectfully, if you get what I mean. But like I
yeah.
didn't know if he was a good filmmaker because I've not actually seen any of his films.
I mean, you can tell if he's a good filmmaker as you can just tell on the context of the film itself. Does he convey the story right? Does he convey the characters right? Like, I think
Which
that's more than enough. You shouldn't
yeah,
have to read a book to know if it was a good film. You can read the book and say, "Oh, do you like the adaptation? Well, do you like the film that stands on its own?"
well that's the thing. Like
Yeah,
I was thinking before I watched this, I was like, should I read the short story? And I got it up. I read only about a quarter of it because I thought I don't really want to read this. I want to watch it
mm.
and know what he's done, to this film.
Yeah.
And it's a very strange, film. You know,
It is. It's cosmic. It's literally the definition of a cosmic stuff. But I will say, like, did you see the thing in this?
the thing,
Yes. Like, just
as in,
the aesthetic of the practical effects and the stuff. Like,
yeah.
like, it was
I
unapologetic. I
it
would use that word.
it doesn't have to be apologetic because it is done respectfully. It's clearly an inspiration, and it works. You know,
Yeah.
it's not one of those where it's like, oh look, it's the thing, because it doesn't need to be.
How horrible is it getting morphed with your son?
Oh, that's
Oh no! And you hear the kid scream. He's the kid from
oh,
Haunting of Hill House. I
I
knew I
haven't
reckon.
seen that, but
Well,
like,
but no, it's just like, oh, like he's just getting like, and he's just like screaming, and the mum's just like, ugh, and it's just like,
the noises. I love the line though. You know, like when it's just like, why are they making that noise? And it's just like they keep doing it.
did you love it when Nicolas Cage just went mad with a shotgun?
Well, on the alpacas. I
I,
absolutely love that. The artistic vision of that scene
what would,
is
oh,
Oscar worthy.
like, yeah, like bang, and just like I knew they were going to do a head explosion.
Yeah, the screaming alpacas and a bang, just like
He paid a lot of
blood
money.
everywhere.
He paid a lot of money for those alpacas. Not worth anything.
Oh, it's
Oh, I mean, it's just that yeah. I mean, because it's a horror film, we have to have the weird man in the back of the garden who's only seen 3 times.
oh, when he dies though, like that's creepy shit.
What when he's just what you think he's speaking?
I knew it wasn't. I knew he wasn't speaking. I knew something was going on, but like the way it's done is
Mm.
just really well. Like it's really good. And then the cop gets killed. The cop gets stabbed through the face with a fucking twig. Like Christ, that's just. I mean, I was kind of. I thought the action had kind of leveled off a little bit.
No, it's still going. But no, I just think it's and like. Well, here's the thing: Nicolas Cage goes Jack Torrance in this film.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the biggest comparison you can make with him. Even looks like him with the whole red over
the
like
blood.
shirt and
Yeah, he goes absolutely like Nicolas Cage on them people.
and it's just like yeah.
He has played the So there was a film he did called, I think it's called like Mom and Dad, and
Mm.
it's parents go and kill their kids for some random ass reason.
Hmm.
And I love it because this film, he doesn't try and kill his kids so much. He's just a bit of a dick to them.
Yeah. Oh, did you love it when the middle son or the oldest son just dies?
Oh, yeah, he just gets killed, and it's just like, lol.
It
See
is.
ya.
It really is because they clearly set him up as like he helps around, but he's clearly like the delinquent.
You know, he disappears for like 20 minutes or
Yeah, and
something.
you don't realize he's gone.
No, you don't realize he's gone, and then he just turns back up, and I was like, where's he gone? Where was he like for the past 20 minutes when all this was happening? Like, and then he's just like, I got lost. It's like that's a fair explanation too. You know,
Did
I'm
you
not, I'm not too bothered.
did you think this when the meteor was coming down before they reveal it's a meteor coming to Earth? When you hear all that banging around the house, you're thinking like,
I knew it was a meteor because I watched the trailer ages and ages ago.
hmm.
Just because I like, I watch trailers when they come out usually. But it's just such a, and the name "Color Out of Space," like,
Yeah.
the word space was a big hint. It was going to be about space.
But no, I mean it's a good film.
It's a good film. I think I am going to watch this film again.
Yeah,
Just because I think it's like a good watch. It's an enjoyable film, and
Yeah.
it's not a horror film that's like,
Scary.
oh, that was cheap scares, or it was actually scary. I don't want to see that again.
I think
It was like,
the horrors in the
yeah,
how people act.
yeah. It like there are little. I wouldn't say there's jump scares
There isn't.
because you
The only
know
jump
they're
scares the
coming.
cat. The only jump scares the cat, and they even say the cat jump scares coming.
They literally set it up so much. Like that's why I wouldn't really say there's jump scares, because you know it's coming.
Mm.
Like if they didn't set it up, then it'd be like, oh, that's a bit cheap, in it. But they literally tell you about it like 10 times before it happens.
Mm.
So when it happens, it's on you if you're scared of it. What do you want to say about this film? Because I've spoken a lot.
Nothing much really, other than it's really good. It's a good looking film. It's a good looking film.
Oh, it's beautifully color graded, I think.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of pink.
There's a lot of pink, but the what's it called? The contrast.
Mm.
It looked like with the background and the surroundings, it just works.
Mm. But
It
no,
pops.
it's weird when you start seeing Nicolas Cage just slowly go mad. Jack Torrance.
Yeah, I do. I like that he goes slowly mad, and then the mum just like, she's already out of it.
Yeah, like I think he starts to go mad when he comes home after the wife has just severed her fingers. Or and the blood goes on the kid's face.
That's such. I love that scene. Just the artistic like splat.
But no, did you hear what he was saying every time she was going mad in that moment? Was he saying
Uh,
go away, get lost or something?
no, he was like, get in here,
I thought he said
and
like get
then
lost.
he sent Jack, the youngest son, to go and get her, and then we know it's happened. But the thing is, I love the scene because I love a lot of scenes in this film, but like that scene particularly, we see it, and it's like a good 3-4 minutes, I think, probably,
Of setting up
of
the
like
moment.
of setting this up, and we know it's coming, and it's just like, when's it happening?
It's like no, and she's cutting it, and you make sure the sound effect is really good when the knife hits the board and the crunch in
Yeah,
the carrot, and you notice the cuts get fast, the cuts in the
and she
shot
gets
get
close. She gets close in
close,
some of the
and they keep
scenes.
cutting back from it, but you know she's getting close, and it's just infuriating how close she is getting when she's cutting.
Yeah,
Because
that's why I wouldn't say it's scary. Like,
it's more tense.
it's tense, and it's like it's a like kind of dramatic irony, if anything.
Mm.
I think it's dramatic irony anyway. Like you know what's coming, the characters don't, but and it's just a bit like, oh,
Yeah.
the alpaca monster though. Christ, what a
The Resident Evil boss.
I love how like it's clear that it's not going well for them. Actually, I would say I kind of got Evil Dead vibes. I
Well,
know you haven't seen that,
yes, I have not
but
seen Evil Dead.
but
Hmm.
there's like the shooting scene in Evil Dead 1 or 2. I think it's Evil Dead 2, but like the kind of like point and then like shoot and then move and shoot.
Yeah.
Like the craziness of it. I feel like that's pretty inspiration as well.
Yeah, it does the low budget stuff well.
Yeah.
The camp, because it is a bit
I,
campy.
I it's camp, but the thing is, right? I wouldn't until I look then at the budget. I like this could have been a higher budget film than it looks. Like then it was, you know.
Yeah, I think it does sort of prove to like people who have films that rely on CGI that like it sort of says some films are too expensive.
Oh yeah, because the monsters in this, they're
Mm.
meant to look like over the top
Yeah.
and like CGI, but they look good still.
The only thing that didn't look good was that cat.
That the cat is a weird one because we only see it once,
Yes, you can't really fault it really.
and it's a quick scene, but it's like it looks good enough because it'd be a waste of their time to spend a load of time like making this cat look incredible for like a split second scene.
Mm. If we say like the budget's 10 million, it sort of proves that films are too expensive that get
If
produced.
the budget really is 6 to 12 million, so
Say 10 million just to make it easy.
say 10 million, say 9 million, whatever, it's it's a low budget Hollywood film.
Mm.
You know,
This could pass off easily.
yeah.
And I think let's say like
Did you know Elijah Wood produced
yeah, I
this?
noticed that. I was just like, okay, well, is he gonna be like one of the cops?
No, he's not. Like I misread it when I looked at the Wikipedia. I thought it said star. I thought that was the starring bit. I was like, is someone cocked up on Wikipedia here and said that he's in this film?
No, Elijah Wood did it. Yeah, I mean, I think I was hoping like I think this is sort of proving that Hollywood films aren't too expensive, but then you get films like Super, which you find out were made for 2.5 million, and you're like,
Y-
how?
Yeah, I would agree with that. But then Super compared to this,
Oh yeah, and I just
this
more meant
is
like it's easy to say Hollywood films are made too much, but then you look at Super, which can't like that could be made for well, I'm going by now standards, but even like something like Brick, which was made for like 500,000.
yeah.
It's yeah,
I just it's a I really like the film.
I do too. Yeah, it's really good.
Um, it was highly reviewed, uh, received. Sorry.
I can see this one. It's not even that different, if you know what I mean.
What
It's
was it?
like
Got
it's not very like artsy in the way that it'll turn people off either.
86% on Rotten Tomatoes,
6.1 on IMDb.
6.2
Oh,
supposedly. IMDb is a bit weird though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, because literally anybody can have an account, and because
yeah,
remember, apparently according to the internet, random ass people are much more reliable than critics who've probably actually seen the bloody film.
yeah. It's an issue now. But yeah, I really hope, I really do hope, right, that the Dunwich Horror or Horrors or whatever it is, the next film he's doing, he's writing at the moment.
Mm,
Uh, this is Richard Stanley, not Nicolas Cage.
yeah,
Um, I really do hope that it gets made, and I think looking at how this was received critically, it
yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if it gets picked up by somebody.
Well,
And the thing is, I think it needs a name behind it, like a
acting wise,
company name.
yes. I mean, I think like people trust like say like Blumhouse as the low budget thing. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because Blumhouse are like, but this RG13692 sort of stuff, it's just like studio and production companies sell the film just as much as the cast or the premise. Do you know what I mean?
I really do think it could be good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do. Yeah, I think a big company behind him is what's needed. I
yeah.
think that's
A24.
potentially.
Because
But
A24 is
anyway,
big enough.
we're getting away from this. I think it's probably time to wrap it up. You know, unless you have
Yeah.
anything else you want to say.
No, I'm done.
All right. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10.
I'll give an 8.
Yeah, I mean
Because I don't like it.
yes,
I don't think I liked it as much as you did, but I still
no.
really, 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 really did like it.
I would highly recommend this to anybody
Yeah.
who is of the right age. Like, I think this is one of those horrors that like it might affect kids. You know,
What was there no jump scares?
like there's some things in this that are a bit kind of off-putting.
A mother and son's bond.
Yeah, and that kind of thing. You know, there's a few little things, but yeah, I would recommend this if you're of the right age.
Hmm.
But anyway, we'll be back next week looking at Whiplash. I have no idea who's going to be on it. It will be me and maybe James, or maybe James, Greg, and Harry. But whatever happens, I'll see you next week.